1,000 people at Walmart, Walking Dead style. Check out Amazon. More to the point, check out baldmove.amazon.com. Anything you buy on a site throughout the holiday season.
No, don't do that.
Why?
Go to amazon.baldmove.com.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
Better.
Yeah, the other would not resolve. It's
No.
amazon.baldmove.com. Anything you buy through our affiliate link, we get a teeny, teeny, tiny percentage, like ridiculously small.
Helps cover the cost of hosting the show.
I mean, that's all we try to do. We try to each month offset the humongous bandwidth bill that we get for hosting gigabytes.
I think we're in the
Gigabytes. 1.21 gigabytes of data that pass through our pipes.
Cool. Okay.
Also, we had the kind of an informal poll amongst the listeners for what we should cover next, and we're getting big love for Boardwalk Empire and Homeland. The two front runners for show coverage. We got a little bit more American Horror Story love, but I'm not going to do that.
It doesn't have the audience for one. I think it's at like 1-point-something million. And
I hate to tell you
if we
about
got
Boardwalk Empire and Homeland, but
oh really?
The thing
is it beating it out?
Boardwalk Empire does not have any other podcasts.
Wait, maybe American Horror Story had like 11 million.
Yeah,
maybe I'm thinking of Homeland has a super small.
Well, they're not a network. There's no way a cable show has 11 million.
No, The Walking Dead does.
11 million?
Yeah, it's like 10 million.
No way.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe you.
Broke records.
Okay. But I'm not going to do American Horror Story. We did get one person mention we should try doing Louie, which is the Louis C.K.
Oh, yeah.
But we've talked about, it's very hard to cover comedy.
I don't know how unless you're pointing out, this was a slapstick form of comedy joke here.
This joke.
I see what you did there. Good one.
That one part where they're funny, it was funny.
Yeah. How do you cover
There's no
comedy?
deeper meanings and character. Maybe I should give, because I haven't actually seen Louie. I hear it's really good.
Maybe we cover the comedy shows like dramas. So we pick apart all the loose ends and holes in the plot.
Take all the joy.
Yeah.
Crack the bones open and soak all the joyful marrow out.
Suck the air out of the room. Yep.
I think we should get to the recap.
I do too, because this segment is sucking the air out of the room.
Yes.
All right. Then let's get right into the show. It starts off with in my opinion, really cool highway flashback. I've been saying this for the entire season pretty much, since episode 1. They need more flashbacks. And we've gotten a couple of them.
What's the opposite of kryptonite?
Superman.
Okay, so flashbacks are this show's Superman.
Yes, they are.
And they need to charge up with the yellow sun as much as possible, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, I can get with that. So great start to the show, in my opinion. It was really cool to see the napalm in the streets and the lengths that they went to try to stop this thing before it really broke out.
I will say that apparently zombies, when they are deprived of human flesh, they get into urban renewal. Because I'll be damned if Rick drove through napalm streets in Atlanta. So I think that's, maybe zombies aren't all bad after all.
Yeah, they're excellent pavers.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
They clean. They're like meth addicts. They just sit there and, I bet that barn is the cleanest barn you've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no hay in there at all.
It's immaculate.
No poops?
Nope.
Zombie poops?
Nope. They're fastidious, those zombies.
All right, next scene then. Also with that flashback, it did a lot to show the kind of relationship that Lori and Shane had, after everything happened, and what they went through together to kind of connect them a little bit. So it gives you a little bit more background as to why they might have hooked up so soon after the apocalypse.
Plus,
Rick was gone.
We got another Ed sighting.
Oh yeah, he's back.
He strikes me as a real Soldier of Fortune magazine reader type.
Yeah, even more so than Daryl.
Operational security. No, man, Daryl wouldn't talk about operational security vis-a-vis, having a granola bar. Come on, man. Anyone that says operational security, unless you're currently serving in the Special Forces, you're probably a Soldier of Fortune magazine type douchebag.
Okay,
just saying.
Never read it, so I wouldn't know. Next scene, Carol is planning to cook dinner for Herschel. They show Lori oversleeping, which I thought was good for a couple of reasons. A, she's pregnant, so she's probably got some weird things going on with her body. Also,
plus the more time she spends asleep, the less time she can annoy the piss out of me.
Also, it shows that the group is starting to feel secure in this place already. Lori's certainly let her guard down. She's sleeping heavier. She's not paying attention to the zombies as much. So they're getting a little comfortable here, maybe a little too comfortable.
Yes.
So we'll see how that works out for them probably next episode, I'm hoping. you have anything more to say about that, or let's move on?
Nope.
So then the group plans the hunt for Sophia, who has been missing now for 184 days.
Much less exciting than Hunt for Red October, I'll tell you that much.
Way less exciting.
I'm ready for this movie to be over.
Less pork chops, too.
Much less.
Far less. I don't know. I thought it was cool that Shane is really just turning into Mr. Survival here. He's like, hey, look, kid, you don't need to go with us. Because the kid comes up and he's like, I want to go with you to find Sophia.
Right.
And he's like, you don't need to go until you've got gun training.
Right.
And I'm a certified trainer. I will train you tomorrow. But for now, stay back. And the kid's like, no, I'm going anyway. And Rick's all about letting people go into the woods unexperienced and unarmed.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
It worked out so well for him the last time.
It really did, yeah. He's sticking with the trend. Also, I noticed a Hyundai in the foreground of a shot, like the symbol right in the screen, and they mentioned Hyundai in the last, like 2 episodes ago or something.
Well, I believe Hyundai.
So I think they're a sponsor.
They also do. There's a zombie theme commercial that they have, isn't there?
Oh, is that right?
I thought so. Or is that a Toyota?
I know there was a Microsoft one with the underwater zombie shark fight.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't especially for Walking Dead, was it?
No.
All right.
Okay. Anyway.
Air sucked out of room.
Yeah. So moving on to the next scene. Glenn fails at guitar and he fails at seduction. He's
Glenn
out there.
is not succeeding at shit right now.
No. They need to get him on a computer playing some StarCraft with some zombies.
Or planning urban combat. He's good at that too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So maybe that'll come in handy.
Oh, one thing I want to mention in news, that we actually watched season 1 in a fan edit form. Do you want to pimp that fan edit?
Yeah, it's called Walking Dead Apocalypse. I don't know. I think you can find it at fanedit.org. Is where I found it. It basically what it does is it takes the first season of The Walking Dead, edits it down to about 3.5 hours. Yeah, and they take it from Rick's perspective. So when Rick is out of the camp, you don't see the bullshit that's going on in the camp.
Yeah.
And they must have taken like 2.5 hours out of this thing, right?
Yeah.
So the 2.5 hours of bullshit that you don't see, in my opinion, is totally unnecessary because this is a much more exciting and just as satisfying show.
Yeah.
In 3.5 hours of season 1 versus the 6.
It'd be interesting to see someone that watched it that hadn't seen the first season.
Yeah.
Because see if they like missed different things about Amy and her sister and all that. But honestly, for someone that's seen it all before, I was like riveted. I'm like, this is really moving along fast paced, and
it fixes all the pacing issues that I saw.
Yes.
Really, really well. So go check that out. It's called Walking Dead Apocalypse. Where were we? Oh yeah, Glenn's trying to seduce Maggie. Massive failure, right? Like he's tried a few times now, and he keeps trying the same game. I guess it worked technically for him, right?
Well, I mean, I guess in the sense that he is almost the last man living. So in that type of scenario, he is having some success. So go Glenn.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on then. Shane then tries to convince Rick to call off the search. And I thought this was a really good scene. They're walking in the woods. They're talking about the old days and their success or lack thereof for Rick with women. And it provides another one of those insights that they do every once in a while with Rick and Shane, where they kind of go and recount stories and the good old days about society. But then Shane turns it on its head and says, we can't think about that stuff. We can't talk about that because that's never coming back. Right. So Shane's being like, he knows what's up. And I feel like Rick still doesn't. Rick is still fighting the fights that you would fight back in the old world.
You think killing Otis kind of unlocked that about him?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He had a realization when he, in my opinion, did what he had to do, you know? I mean...
So you've come back around. You think that was, if not noble, at least necessary evil?
Yeah, and I don't know how much it's affected him. I can't tell yet. Because... he at the time that he did it, he understandably seemed very distraught about it. But now he seems to be, I don't know if he's forgetting, like he told Andrea to do, or
that was it,
or what. But it doesn't seem to be affecting him emotionally very much.
No, and I don't know if there's going to be some more kind of chickens come home to roost as a result of that. But yeah, I seemed like shaving his head and throwing that rock on the Otis pile.
Yeah.
Completely got him over any feelings of guilt or doubt about
all
the situation.
All his love for Otis was in his hair. Now it's gone. As long as he keeps that hair short.
It's like the anti-Samson.
Yes.
His strength is in his bald head.
Yeah, but he's absolutely spot on about Sophia. I think like he is becoming super survival man. And he tells Rick, like, if this were before the apocalypse, we'd have 72 hours before we consider this a body, not a person.
Right, and that was before all this shit was happening.
And I think that does shake Rick a little bit. Rick acknowledges it. He says, yeah. And then when he comes back, he's talking to Lori, which we'll get to in a minute, but he seems very shaken by that.
Now, what do you think? Because I thought it was odd. They at least acknowledged the fact that Daryl found evidence of a child living in an abandoned house.
Yes.
Why do you think they didn't follow that up? Like maybe station someone at the house in case she would come back? I mean, why would a little girl not stay where she's found shelter and food?
I don't know. They did it totally off screen. So he never told anybody about it that we saw.
Right.
But he obviously did. So we don't know what he told him. Did he tell him, "Hey, I knew she wasn't going to come back to there because of A, B, and C," or what is it? I don't know what information Daryl has about that or insight into the situation.
I don't know.
So maybe he knows better than us. Maybe he's just like, "Yeah, she's not coming back."
She left a note. "I'm never coming back here."
Yeah, they just
this
didn't
house
show
is drafty.
all off screen. This house drafty. I couldn't get 8 solid hours.
She's gonna smartphone out and Yelp, give it like a super negative review, F-.
Yeah.
Accommodations unsatisfactory.
I found dirty sheets.
Pool closed.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. So speaking of Daryl and Sophia, Daryl finds Sophia's doll, and of course gets an arrow in his side. And this takes place over the course of a couple scenes here. What did you think about this?
Well, first of all, this is the first time since probably this first season that I've actually seen the writers do something clever with symbolism.
What was that?
That they had the broken doll, kind of swept underneath that tree at the bottom of the gully. And then Daryl came to rest at the exact spot, a broken rag doll himself. And I was like, I see what you did there. Tip of the cap.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like that.
But I liked it. At first, I liked everything. Are we going to talk about the Merle thing and all? Okay,
definitely.
So let's just deconstruct this whole scene.
Sure.
Another thing that I think they did really well is I think that this show has had a cardinal sin of telling us things rather than doing us. I mean, they could have done the scene with 5 minutes with Daryl pouring his heart out to Rick about, "I'm just so confused about the group, and my brother raised me to be like this," and all that stuff. But instead, they had this, flashback hallucination where they simultaneously showed where Daryl came from, how he became the man he is, and also showed us how he didn't become the man that Merle was. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does.
Like in just 5 minutes of really good, of very economical writing and character development, they did both of those objectives, and I thought it was awesome. I was actually, slow clapping the writers at that point.
Yeah, that was a very.
In fact, I want to say
scene.
that this episode was 75% its way to earning like a B rating from me. Good, not great, until we got to the scene, which I'm sure we'll spend a lot of time talking about, the one that made me rage out on Facebook and in real life. But again, Daryl's my favorite character. Getting to know more about him, not a bad way to spend a half hour.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think if there's anything more we want to say about that.
Daryl's using target arrows. I just realized that.
I know people are going to jump all over us for this. They're bolts. We know. We know crossbows use bolts. Don't say they're not arrows.
Really? Because Daryl called them arrows. So fuck you.
Well, there you go.
If you're going to disagree with me, you gotta go through Daryl Dixon. I don't think you want to do that. I was just noticed it because apparently if those are real hunting bows or arrows or bolts, they would have, broader blades that would inflict damage. But those are kind of like what you'd shoot on a practice range. or into a target. They're like straight.
I'm assuming that's all he could find. Like,
oh, maybe.
I picked up this crossbow, and here are these.
I figured it was his personal crossbow, though, and you don't think so?
I don't know.
The other thing is, when he pulled the arrow through him, he pulled it where the flights, where he pulled the feather side out.
Why would you do that?
The other was a straight end that actually tapers out. I don't know why you'd pull them feathers through. The only thing I can think of is maybe that he thought the tip was contaminated.
Maybe, because I know he's shooting these bolts at a lot of zombies, but...
Why don't you think he... Oh, obviously, he's got to have some way to sterilize this.
He's cleaning
he hunts
them off.
with these damn things.
For sure. Shoots a squirrel with one.
He does.
Impressive.
And then eats that squirrel raw.
Yeah.
Eats that tree rat. What did you think about him? Why didn't he pull the arrow out straight away?
I don't know. I cannot figure that out.
I mean, because he was shot through the love hand. He was stabbed through the love handle, basically.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any major arteries there. I mean, I guess it's like standard procedure if you were shot through the leg or like the armpit or something to not pull out an arrow because it might be all that's keeping the gush of blood from going through you. But
I'm thinking this is more of a WWMD moment. What would Merle do? Where, because Merle has kind of been the one motivating him and pushing him and everything, right? For his entire life. I think we see that.
Because it wasn't his daddy. We know that.
Exactly.
It wasn't his mom.
I don't know that Daryl has ever been shot with an arrow before.
I don't know.
So he's probably figuring out what to do when Merle's talking to him.
Yeah.
Because Merle's the one who comes up and says,
like,
hey, pull that thing out of your side.
Right.
Be able to dress your wound better. I think that was Daryl, like, figuring out what would Merle do. Because he's the guy who trained me to be self-sufficient or self-reliant and all these things. So I got to figure out what he would do. And that's what he does.
WWMD.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good philosophy to live your life by, actually.
Yeah, not at all.
But it saved him here. So.
What weapons of mass destruction?
Okay.
That's also a game Saddam liked to ask.
Yeah, the WW. Oh, boy. All right, moving on. So this is when Rick comes back to Lori after the hunt for Sophia, and he's looking for support, basically. He's questioning, hey, are we doing the wrong thing by staying and looking for Sophia? Should we be moving on? And it definitely seems like Shane convinced him to at least think about this.
I'm actually getting really tired of this navel gazing by Rick.
Yeah.
Do you want to be the leader or not? If you want to be the leader, quit whining about it and start leading and, be confident and stop second-guessing yourself. If not, I don't know. But then, I read the book 1776 about the American Revolution, and, boy, George Washington comes across as an indecisive moron. Like, he's always getting kind of like, his underlings are getting the best of him, and he loses control of staff meetings, and he's always questioning and whining about not having enough money and troops and all that kind of stuff. It's like, so maybe all leaders are like this behind the closed doors.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
I don't know. But yeah, he's questioning things again. So in the next scene, Daryl's climbing up the hill, and he falls down again, which I thought was hilarious. I mean... You're going to make it fall down the hill twice? Really?
This Brutal. Time with an arrow through you?
Yeah. So then Merle finally comes or no, this isn't where Merle comes. Before that, you get a scene with Rick and Herschel talking. Do we have anything to say about Daryl falling down the hill? I just thought it was funny.
No.
Okay. So then Rick and Herschel talk about, what do they talk about? They're over by the generator.
They're talking about how they need to have proper communication about their people.
Yeah.
And they came to an uneasy alliance that you want anything with my people, you come through me. If you want anything with my people, you come through me.
Yeah, and man, it's hard to see a two-leader system working out here. And I know why Herschel is doing this. He's doing it to keep the group separate, so they don't have to mix in, and then they can kick them out of there eventually.
What seems like he's really, this episode, regretting giving Rick's people the chance.
Yeah. Because basically everyone else around him is connecting with this group, and it's looking more and more like they're going to stay, and that's the last thing he wants to happen.
Well, but I don't know why that is. Again, like last episode, what changed at this point in the episode that, I guess that they took one of his horses and they took one of the boys without even mentioning it to him.
Yeah.
They slaughtered a zombie and bled him into his well. That probably didn't go over that well.
Yeah. Good job, guys. I wonder if he even knows about that.
It does seem like by the end of the episode, he's really tired. And I thought it was kind of funny when he says it's a wonder you people have survived this long. I'm like, yes,
yeah,
they're idiots. I'm glad you noticed that.
And see, all right, I have to say that this episode, when I first saw it, I didn't like it. I thought this is a crappy episode. I went back and I rewatched it today, preparing the outline, and I actually liked it way better.
It's really good, except for the Andrea part.
It is. But one thing that it did is it kind of changed my mind a little bit on the series as a whole, because I see Shane now becoming this survival guy who is saying every single thing that the audience is saying. Let's abandon this girl. Let's leave her. She's dead already. There's no way she's coming back. Let's get out of here. We need to survive.
Yeah, and well, go ahead.
And I was going to say, and Rick is doing the opposite. Andrea's making stupid decisions. Dale's doing stupid. Everybody's doing stupid things around Shane. I feel like that's part of the show.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek had that. Kirk and Spock were usually... Spock was trying to tell what the cold, logical thing, and Kirk was always the one to talk about, like, or I guess McCoy was the one to be like, damn your Vulcan blood. And Kirk would be the one to kind of mediate and choose. So it's like, I guess... do we have like a big three with Rick and Shane and Daryl here?
I think so. And certainly that kind of struggle between losing your humanity or maintaining it in this horrible situation, that's always been part of the show.
Yeah.
But I think what we're kind of mistaking for stupidity on the part of the writers might be just stupidity on the part of the characters. Like, they want them to make mistakes to show...
No, I'm sorry. There's nothing that you can do to excuse the well scene. That was
the well scene?
Bullshit.
Yeah, was pretty dumb. The shit with Andrea later on is pretty dumb, too.
And the whole, like, multiple appeals to God, the Jesus and the church and the general... just meandering. I agree. And in fact, spoiler alert, in the spoiler section, which if you don't know our policy, don't freak out. We don't talk about spoilers until after we play the outro music. 10 to 15 seconds, 20 seconds of that. Then we talk about the spoilers for the next episode and also comic book spoilers. We actually had a lot of really insightful things that the listeners wrote in to talk about that Shane dynamic and Rick dynamic, and how it differs from the comic book and some of the similarities. Which I can't wait to talk about. But yeah, so I see how they're kind of struggling with getting that integrated. And I also think it's interesting that the best character, the most interesting one, is Daryl, who's not in the comic books.
Yeah.
I almost feel like this show consciously tries to zig when the comic zags, because they almost like, well, we don't want to sit out and make the whole comic just like... or those TV show just like the comics, so we're going to deliberately change stuff, and they feel almost paralyzed where we have to do something different with these characters, put a little spin, where Daryl, a wholly original character, they can just not worry about it and write him well. I think that's a mistake. It's like the reason Game of Thrones was so good is because they're like, damn, this source material is good. We're going to film that, and then we're going to riff on the peripheries. Like, so they're going to play up the homosexual angle between the king's brother and the Knight of Flowers, and we're going to do some other subtle things, but it was just kind of like doing some subtle shading, where here they really invert into source material. And I think that sometimes the writers are almost don't know what to do. They're so fixated on avoiding the target of the comic book canon that they kind of go off the rails or go way off the beaten track to avoid that kind of intellectual highway.
Well, they kind of got some criticism for that in the first season. People were saying, oh, it's nothing like the comic book, and you need to make it more like the comic book. And then they did that this season. We see, like, the barn that we just found out about in this episode. That's in the comic book.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that I feel like the characters are growing more towards what they are in the comic books in all directions.
Just seems like there could have been a better. I don't know what was improved by not just doing exactly like we were talking about pre-cast. They should be at certain destinations by now.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be spending what's going to end up being an entire season, or at least a half of a season, on a plot line looking for a little girl. Especially when they're going out of the way to make it seem like it's a futile search.
And I don't know what it is. If maybe they're trying to personalize this a little bit for Rick and for the rest of the group, but I feel like they should be approaching it a little bit more globally because this is going on everywhere. I mean, Jenner said in the last season that the French were the ones to hold out the longest.
How would you do that? No, USA. No. Jenner was held out the longest. Don't be acting like the French can outdo the Americans.
I'm just going by what Jenner said. Jenner is
they held out the second longest outside the good old USA.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, but yeah, I feel like they should be approaching this more globally.
How would you do that?
By advancing the plot a lot more
than
they have.
But how would you involve it globally? Because hell, Rick doesn't even realize that a CB doesn't have voicemail. He's going to get on a ham radio and be like bouncing signals off the stratosphere.
Yeah, we still got the satellites in the orbit.
Yeah,
bounce stuff off of those, Rick, for sure. I don't know, but I feel like they're just sitting on plot points that, God, Sophia is killing me now.
Yeah.
So and almost literally killing Daryl as well.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off so much about it is she's not only slowing down the plot, but she's slowing down the character. She's practically killing my favorite characters.
Well, for example, Otis would not have died if it hadn't been their search for Sophia.
Yeah.
So, like Shane pointed that out, like we would be body neutral if we'd have just abandoned it.
Yeah.
And if we were in peacetime, we would no longer be looking for a live body. So it's like it's harder and harder for them not to, we asked this in the very beginning, how long would you search? And some people said a day, some people said a week, some people said as long as it takes. But in this situation, when there's so much to do on that farm.
Yeah. And they've got a certain destination. They know where they're going. It's not like they have nowhere to go. They're heading towards Fort Benson
they're not.
or Underwearville
I think everyone on the show thinks that they're going to stay here on this farm forever at this point, except for Rick. Rick's not shared their
Didn't they mention the fort today? Or I'm sorry, Sunday.
No, you're thinking we rewatched the first season, and they had a big debate about whether they should go to Atlanta or down to Fort Benning.
Yeah, but I mean that was their original plan, right? So they just found this what they think is a safe place, and they're going to stay now.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone thinks except for Rick and Herschel.
Well, Rick put his spurs away, so he might think that too.
Yeah, his badges.
But they're back out this time, aren't they?
I don't know.
Like, isn't he
trying
to be the leader? Okay, move on. So next scene, Merle comes back, and he gets Daryl up the mountain, uses his methods of taunting him and calling him worthless. And
there were some really good Daryl and Merleisms. Like, kick off your high heels about climbing. And, they're making fun of him, Chupacabra, which is a blood-sucking goat or dog. He's like, you believe in a goat-sucking dog? He's like, do you believe in a dead walking around eating people?
Yeah.
I thought that was, yeah. It's like, yeah, there you go.
You got me. Yeah.
What did he say before that? Because, goddamn, I lost my notes. But he said something hilarious before that, too.
You're talking about the Slurpees thing? People in hell want Slurpees.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. and it's so simple. It's just a twist on water, but it felt like Daryl to me.
Right.
So, anyway, So do you think that Daryl now is going to come back to the group and have more doubts about it and start turning against him?
No, because I thought they even symbolized that with when he finally got to the top of the hill, he was like, yeah, you better run. Like, I think he's rejected his brother's philosophy. Now, and hell, I mean, goddamn, he got shot on sight coming back to the group.
Yeah.
And he was still...
And he said, I was joking.
Yeah, that was great. That was great when he popped right up. That was the first thing he said. And then when Carol kind of came in there and said, look, I don't think you're just as good as Rick and Shane.
And that, to me, was a phenomenal scene because we saw in the middle of the episode, Merle, his brother, just has constantly, for his whole life, told him he's worthless. He's nothing. Nobody's ever going to love you except me.
Yeah.
And here's Carol.
You're the only reason you made it in this world is because I've been looking after you.
Yeah.
It's too bad it was offset partially by Dale cracking that joke to Andrea about, like, who hasn't wanted to kill a Daryl.
Yeah. Although, I feel like that's what Dale would have said. and I didn't have a problem with that scene. I actually liked it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it reconnects them. I think Andrea may have just forgiven Dale at that point.
Well, she better, because she's got a little bit of a debt herself now.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. What else did I want to say about...
I'm getting wound up, man. I'm getting wound up.
I know. We're getting to it. So what's with the ears? That's what I want to know. What is going on with the ears?
I think that was just Daryl channeling his primitive badass.
Yeah?
That he's like, I killed 2 of you fuckers with an arrow stabbed through my own gut.
Badass. It doesn't get much more badass than...
And now I got your I got your ears.
Awesome. Okay. I don't know what the ears are about, but I'm sure we'll find out.
It's a trophy. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, but what purpose does it serve?
What purpose does taking human ears on any culture serve? But
you could frighten a human by a giant necklace full of ears, but you can't frighten a zombie.
Hell, you can frighten other humans though.
That's true.
You come across Daryl looking like that with a necklace of human ears dangling from him and his crossbow, you're going to think twice.
That's true. On a big-ass chopper.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I've changed my mind on that.
There
Come
you
around. So then the next scene is Herschel hating dinner. Basically, he's like, I can't believe you fuckers made dinner for me. I'm so pissed.
Well, what's so funny is that he was mad because his family did the same thing that Rick's family did. That basically they were presumptuous. Hey, yeah, we're going to let the people, we're all together. And he's like, why are you people doing this?
Seems like there wasn't there was a lack of communication there, Herschel.
Exactly.
What's going on?
It annoyed him that he kind of got...
Control your people.
Yep.
So why does Herschel warn Maggie that Rick's group is not going to be around forever? Does he have other plans, or is he just still planning to kick them out? Or, what is your take on that?
I think he's basically saying the jury's still out. And in fact, the jury is kind of filing in the room, and it's not looking good.
Yeah.
The verdicts, they're not looking good. So I think he's basically saying he doesn't want a struggle. He doesn't want a house divided. Mm-hmm. So.
All right. Well, let's go to the next scene then. Dale, I always get this confused, is playing dad to Glenn, basically. He's in the RV, and Glenn brings up the subject about women's cycles lining up and the women in the camp acting crazy.
Hot mess.
Yeah, Glenn's gone a little wonky with this whole Maggie thing.
Yeah.
That was, in my opinion, his way of working around to the Maggie thing. He's just like...
What did you think of Dale's reaction?
I thought it was very, very honest. I always feel like Dale, whatever he says is honest.
See, I think in a real situation, there would be a moment of high five before you'd be like, boy, but did you really think about... Yeah.
Because Dale knows what's at stake here. He knows that Herschel's not going to like that, and that they're asking to be saved from the zombies by staying here.
He's asking a 20-something young man what he was thinking when a piece like Maggie was saying, let's go.
Sure.
Come on.
Sure.
That was what went a little overboard to me. You can be like, look, you need to do what's right for the group, but don't ask him a stupid question that you already know the answer of. What was he thinking? Sure. He wasn't. All the blood had rushed down to his lower extremity.
But I do have to say that Glenn had the perfect response, right? I was thinking I might die tomorrow.
Right, which that shut Dale up.
Yeah, as it should have. And the look on Dale's face when he does that and walks out, Dale had no idea what to say. He was just like, yeah, you're absolutely right.
And I like that because he's kind of an annoying busybody, and I like to see him getting showed up there.
Yeah. And I liked his, I don't know. I just liked how the kid and the old man are kind of bonding here. It's weird. In a very, father and son sort of way.
I didn't get that. I thought it was kind of more antagonistic.
Weird. Okay, so then... we get the ultimate rage scene. You want to talk a little bit about Andrea shooting Daryl?
So I was actually really concerned that I wasn't going to come up with enough material for my survival review that I release every Friday. Mm-hmm. And then we had to this scene, and I have so much to talk about. It wasn't bad enough that she tried to murder my favorite character on the show. But the way she did it, this gleeful... even though I know, and I've been told personally by 2 separate characters, shooting a gun is not a good idea. Even though that the baddest of the badasses available are going out there to deal with a threat with weapons, and as a lone walker from a long range, even though
they're all standing around, could get clipped by the shot if she misses.
Has she ever shot that rifle? Does she know how if the scope is sighted in properly?
I want to say she did when.
God damn!
Shane
What if that
was
thing?
teaching her,
what if that thing shot low and to the left?
I know. Rick's dead. Bam. Gone.
I mean, and she decided, and she didn't even get. She knew that Dale is out there. She knew the little girl's out there. They made it painfully clear that she couldn't fucking see because the sun was in her eyes. She decides to take the shot anyway. Fuck you, Andrea. You are just damn near irredeemable at this point.
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing that I've seen anyone do by far. Never in this series have I shouted no at the screen.
Oh, I almost broke. You saw me. I had to get up and take a walk. I almost broke things. And what pisses me off the most is that the scene meant nothing. Now, there's a listener that's going to have a vigorous defense of this scene.
Okay.
And, we'll get to that here in the feedback section. But, Daryl didn't die. Andrea didn't learn. I mean, any guilt that she felt, the survivors seemed to be, trying to take away as fast as possible. Plus that she just fought to get the right to have this gun. And the first thing she does is plus she was kind of presumptuous. It's not like she talked to Rick or anybody about, hey, I'd like to take a rotation as a lookout. She just got up there and was like, I'm done doing dishes and all this girl shit. I'm going to sit up on my ass like you stupid guys. And honestly, she did do a better job as a lookout than Dale.
Way better.
We need to acknowledge that she saw that fucking that walker, quote unquote walker, from a country mile away.
Yeah, they are the ultimate team. She's the eyes and he's the gun.
Yeah,
that's what I think. Just give him the gun, let him shoot.
But I was just so angry that the way she came across was like if that was Carl and he was a little kid and he did that, I'd be pissed. Because it's like, well, I'm going to show Dad that I'm a good shot. But for a grown-ass woman to do that?
Yeah, this felt very childlike to me.
Yes.
She felt like a giddy little
like she's playing
school
a joke.
Kid.
Or she just, the way she acted and chose to act that thing. And again, I've said this before. She's savage looking with any expression other than blank neutrality.
Yeah.
She's the ugliest looking, good looking woman I've ever seen when it comes to happiness, rage, sorrow, loss, confusion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. So
another horrible, stupid thing about this scene is Shane and what's his face run off over to the zombies, and Rick follows them with a gun. What the fuck are you doing pointing that gun at the zombie, Rick?
Well, I mean, I think that's entirely appropriate. You've got 2 guys with melee weapons. They get the first crack, but if something goes wrong, you got the gun.
What is going to go wrong with 3 dudes?
I'm just saying it's not a bad idea to go strapped.
Ridiculous.
If he shot first, then fine. But
sure.
That wasn't the plan, obviously. No, I'd
grab a knife, grab something else, not a gun.
No,
yeah,
I want backup.
No, terrible idea.
I'm dealing with The Walking Dead. I want backup.
Okay. Although I did think it was a cool shot because they're carrying Rick and Shane are carrying Daryl back, and T-Dog finds the doll and he holds it up, and it was interesting because they do a shot where they show Rick and Shane in the same frame, and they both have like opposing expressions on their face. Rick is excited by it. Shane's almost like, God damn it.
Yeah, right. This shit again.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I don't know. Do you want to rant any more on this scene, or should we just?
I'm saving some of that venom for because here's the thing. I haven't given out the death penalty as a penalty for breaking the survival rules, and I'm so mad at Andrea. I just might give out the death penalty as a recommended remediation step.
Just blast her, shoot her in the head. No, don't shoot her. Stab her.
Like if I was doing a survival review of the first season, I would have given the death penalty to Merle. I would have said that Rick should have marched him off the ledge of that building instead of handcuffing him. But Andrea's probably the first one that I've been so mad that it's not enough to smacking the taste out of their mouth isn't going to work. Dragging him behind the horse isn't going to work. All the other creative way of red hot poker up the ass is not going to work. You might just need to feed her to the walkers in the barn.
I'm all for it.
Because that is just unacceptably disobeying direct orders from the group leader, acting in a deliberately stupid way, as according to the show's own rules, in a way that already exploits a weakness of the character, who she's gun crazy. That's the other thing. When we watched the first season, she is very quick about waving guns around.
She is pointing them in people's faces constantly.
Yes.
It's no wonder they took the gun away from her.
So maybe that's part of her character trait, is she's just a gun nut.
Maybe. I don't know. She needs to learn how to use them. It's a good thing Shane's starting to teach her, because any longer, and she'll be killing people left and right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Let's move on. We'll talk about the other stuff later. So Herschel fixed Daryl. He's basically sewing him up. And this is where he says, "The one of you people have survived so long." And I'm like, yeah, it is, Herschel. Good call. And then Shane explains basically the change in his behavior to Lori and Rick, where he says to Rick, "Hey, we've got to stop looking for this girl," whatever. Which is a little weird after they just found the doll. I mean, the doll kind of renews, hey.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this enough, and we got a lot of feedback to get to about this point. So
okay. But he really, like, I feel the only reason he's living right now is because he wants to look out for Lori and Carl. I mean, he basically says as much, right?
Right. Which, again, Lori's back to running. You know, she deliberately left the door open for him romantically last episode. And now she's
I don't
being...
know that she did. I didn't pick that up from that conversation. When she said, yeah, you don't have to leave.
Are the ladies listening to this cast? Can I get a ruling on this?
Yeah.
Because when a guy says... I need you to tell me, or did you mean to ask me to stay? With all the history in that, and her just saying, yes, I do, with no other qualifications or stuff, was that not leaving the door open? I think it was. So
I don't. So
I need some double X chromosome support or rebuttal at that point.
All right, fair enough. So the next scene, Andrea and Dale reconnect. This is where he goes and sits down and makes a joke about Daryl. I don't feel bad for Andrea at all.
Whatever,
she
Dale.
was stupid.
Your dumb ass can't even keep a look at. Daryl's done more in his severed ear necklace than you have for the group in the last week.
Don't underestimate the value of being able to repair the busted ass RV.
You mean fake repair it?
yeah, fake repair it.
God, you imagine how pissed Shane would be if he found that out right now.
Oh man, I hope he does. Because what else is Dale doing at
I
this
would
point?
love to see Dale get pistol whipped.
Yeah.
That would make like a 5-minute pistol whipping scene.
Like he did with Ed back in season 1.
Yeah, an Ed-style beatdown would go down pretty good.
Awesome. So then they do dinner, and Glenn makes an ass of himself, of course.
Of course.
As usual. And they have the kids at the kids' table, which was pretty hilarious.
No. The kids' table wasn't nearly damn big enough for the kids in this. I mean, they're basically the adult table would be Daryl, Herschel, and Rick. They would be sitting at the kids' table, and then around the big table would be the rest of the jackasses, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't have anything to say about that scene. So... Then Carol comes in to where Daryl is sleeping and thanks him for all that he's done for Sophia.
You missed the least subtle note passing in the history of anything. Mm-hmm. Like, I think everyone at the table was watching them pass this note.
Well, it's because of fucking Dale. Did you see that? Dale looks over and he's like, ooh, what's going on over there? And so he alerts Herschel to it. Herschel wouldn't have known.
I just think that, Glenn could have played a little bit. He's like, oh, let me get the. I mean, that's what the scene. That's what the sound design was like. It's like, could you be cool, man?
No,
Glenn cannot.
I think
be
Glenn.
Cool.
Yes, Glenn has proven he cannot be cool. Impossible.
All right.
So then Carol thanks Daryl, and I really feel like not only are they saying, hey, there is somebody that likes Daryl and values him, but I think they're setting them up to kind of couple off.
Yeah, I hate that because she's the most worthless person on the show.
But you agree, don't you?
I'm afraid that that's what's going on.
Yeah,
I don't like it at all.
I'm afraid about a lot of stuff that's about to go on in this show.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah, but I think it's going to happen. It certainly seems like it.
There's not. I mean, in the given survivor pool, there isn't a whole lot of other options.
That's true. Well, you can hook up with Andrea.
I would honestly hate that about as much.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Anyway,
good point.
Don't rush in putting these people in bed together, writers. Introduce some new characters. I want you to find a real, genuine badass, a badass lady to take his side.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so final scene.
He needs to find his Beyonce because he's a redneck version of Jay-Z. He's a redneck zombie killing version of Jay-Z.
Sure. Final scene. Glenn uncovers the truth about the barn, and he's surprised. He's definitely surprised.
You think?
I thought he did a pretty good job of acting, holy shit, I can't believe this is in the barn, and I'm going to run away. Mm-hmm. And then Maggie stops him in the door, and you weren't supposed to see that.
Mm-hmm. In scene.
They're obviously not all family members, right?
It's
got to be people from around. There's like 30 of them.
Hell, yeah. I mean,
families are big in the South, but not
I would
that
say
big.
family and friends.
Okay.
Or I think that Herschel's got a all walkers found on property put in barn philosophy.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about speculation. Mm. Why do you think he's doing this? I mean, I think this is the fulfillment of the crazy AIDS speech from episode 2, right?
Yeah, he thinks that they can be cured.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't think they're lost yet. Of course, he doesn't know what they know. They should tell him about the stuff that they saw with Jenner.
Right.
Like,
you'd
look,
think
they die.
You'd think the first few nights that they were